I'm always skeptical about that, but then, like, I have a dog. He's a black lab mix. His name is Mosby. And he'll sit on the couch and he'll stare at the TV.
Oh, we're talking about Mosby like, Zach and Cody?
What?
Huh?
What?
Wasn't that the name of the fucking black dude on Zach and Cody, Mosby?
I'm sorry,
What
we
is
we
Zack
watch
and
real
Cody?
TV?
I've got a fucking daughter, dude.
No, I have no idea.
Oh, well,
we named it after Ted Mosby on How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, well, I'm almost say you named it after Mosby on Zach and Cody. Go ahead.
No, but like he'll like stare and watch the TV, but then there's times like he'll just stare at the ceiling. Like he'll just be sitting on the couch and just like staring into the air, like very intently. And I'm like, at first I thought I was like, oh shit, maybe this place is haunted. And now I just think he's dumb. But
Well, see,
I
now
don't know.
my wife's dog Eleanor, she's a little Boston Terrier.
Named after Roosevelt?
Rigby, the Beatles song.
Oh, fair enough.
Like, she will run and bark the fuck out of something, and then she'll be like, oh shit, back up, like, and nothing's there.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck?
The fun part about this house, which it could either be something was already here or something that has
I would say
followed me
it's probably
around.
something that...
Every morning that when I go to work, I let the dogs out, go to the bathroom, put them back in their cages, lock them up. Everything's cool. I go to work. There have been days that my dad shows up because, tomorrow's a work time at work. Comes to let the dogs out around noon. Something has already let them out. And they're running around the house.
Interesting.
Okay.
Could it be your faulty cage locking?
You brought up a thing like, how we've been to places and
We've been lots of places.
we've did like EVPs, like is there anything following us? Be like, oh, well, this many or whatever. Okay. Do you ever worry with if there is something following us? Like every time you bend over to pick something up, is there somebody behind you like throwing air humps off behind you, just like, yeah?
Think about this. If you go to sit on the toilet, what if there's a ghost already sitting there and you fucking sit on his lap?
What if when Yana sticks his dick in your mouth, you're just like, get it in real quick before you close it?
Are all ghosts Biff Tannen?
And he said, whoa, we got, what is it, the diddler?
The ghost penis.
Oh, the ghost penis side.
There's a place called Madison Seminary, way up north, like 4 hours away from here.
Multiple pictures.
Way up on the lake. From the attic of the place, literally, if you Google Madison Seminary ghost penis, you will probably find the picture. Literally, big old dick, big old
and balls,
ectoplasmic dick and balls,
just
in
hovering,
the middle of a picture. Like, how
Was it like helicopter dick or just
no, just
like
straight up
flaccid?
cock and balls?
Yeah, it was just all going on, man.
Did he Slimer?
Well done.
Where are we going next?
Across the streets.
Ghost AIDS.
Do you have ghost AIDS?
Is that how AIDS got
Where
started?
go to help?
Used by ghosts.
I think I've run out of ideas. Anything else that anyone
Do we have
can
any
think of?
messages?
No, I've had it up.
Do we have any
sitting here
Twitters?
I'm sitting at. I don't know. That's your thing. You do the Twitter thing. I sit here.
I feel like people stopped listening. How long have we been going?
78 minutes.
77 minutes ago, people were off board.
I don't know. Any last thoughts dealing with one topic we haven't touched on, which we have all had very similar experiences with: UFOs and aliens.
Mm.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a howitzer.
It's a
That
Okay.
probably sounded really bad on the
One
microphone.
of you guys go with that story and interject our good little buddy Garrison into that.
Do you want me to do it?
You got
Go
it.
All
for
right.
it.
So we're driving back. There's a little town some direction from here called Wilmington. And we were driving back from something in Wilmington. Was it the drive-in, maybe? We all went to a drive-in movie?
Tobin's birthday party at B-Dubs.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Tobin
pretty
Farrell's birthday party at B-Dubs. Tobin, if you're listening, kudos, man. So we're driving back, and we see some lights in the sky. We're in Ben's father's Jeep that has the sunroof and whatnot, so we can see overhead. We've got all kinds of angles. It looks like a giant triangle with 3 points of light on each, or a point of light on each corner, one in the middle, two going forward, like headlights. And it's going. It was raining and it was lightning. So, like, it's, like, hovering towards the side of the road. And I forget who it was. So I think it might have been you. Was convinced it was, like, a light pole.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no fucking light poles on this road, man. Like, it's a highway.
Were you on 42?
It did
by
look
that
like a
point-
light pole, because
yeah,
it was
it
sitting
was
on
that
top
height.
of the road. It was right
Yeah.
height.
But it also looked like, how the fuck did someone stick a car up on a pole?
That's kind of what it looked like. It
Like,
looked
it
like,
looked
just
like headlights.
two headlights. That's what made me think it wasn't a light pole, because there was two of them. Like, why is a light pole have two of them?
And then, like, there was a large strike of lightning, like the cover of Dark Knight Returns, and you can see it's, like, hanging independently in the air,
Yeah.
this large triangular shape. And it, like, fucking books, man. Like, it's going, like, a gajillion miles an hour. I don't know how fast, but it was going pretty fast. And, like, changing directions on a dime and going every which way. And I just remember we're all trying to figure out what it is. Like, we're leaning out the windows and trying to look up the sunroof, and Ben's, like, swerving all over the road.
We
He's
even
trying to
turned
look
down
at
the
it.
road to
In
follow it.
We
hindsight,
did.
we probably shouldn't have been leaning as far out of the windows as we were. For the fact of, death.
Ah, fuck it. But I distinctly remember we have a friend. His name is Garrison. Garrison Fogut. It's actually Fogut.
Fogut?
Folk.
It's Fogut, but I like to pronounce the G. He, one of the smartest kids ever. He was like, skipped 2 years in school and whatnot. Like, he was like
a lot.
He was like a real, like, Stephen Hawking kind of guy. But, without the wheelchair, yeah. But, like, he's really smart, but, like, we're looking on him, we're like, what the fuck is this? And we're, like, talking, and he just keeps screaming, it's a howitzer! It's a howitzer! And we're like, Garrison, that's not a thing! He's like, it's totally a thing! It's canon.
What
he was going for was a Harrier.
Yeah.
Hovering.
Yeah, no.
So he wasn't really that
The,
smart. Come on.
the vertical takeoff plane.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if the United States has many of. I think that's more of a British plane.
No, Marine Corps got a shit ton of them.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, everybody shares shit.
But I mean, where's the nearest fucking Marine Corps base around here? Nowhere in Ohio.
Probably not in Ohio. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't believe there are any Harriers at Wright Pat.
Nah, fuck, what are they doing clear over?
Yeah.
But the kicker for that story is, like, we followed this thing for a good bit. Like, we turned down a couple
we were
roads.
late getting back to the actual party.
Yeah.
By a long shot.
And we were like, okay, fuck, we lost it. And we turned around, and there it is. And it just goes flying the opposite direction it was actually facing, and just starts flying away. And it's really fast.
I remember, too, we had the back windows down because we were trying to look at, like lean out the windows and look at it. And you know how when you're driving really fast, you have the back windows down, and it makes that...
Yeah.
And it, like, hurts your ears.
We were freaking out.
Yeah, I think it was Garrison leading the charge.
At
Like,
one
what is
point-
going on?
At one point, before it actually took off for good, it stopped and it hovered.
Yep.
And it was literally probably less than a football field above where we were.
Yep.
That was the best shot we got of it. And it was absolutely terrifying.
Yep. This
Triangle. Perfect triangle.
Perfect
See,
triangle.
Summer of '98, me and my buddy Chris. He had just.
extreme.
I wish, but he had just gotten kicked out of his papa's house, and he lived way out on Harrison Road in Bloomingburg.
Gotcha.
And so we hopped in my '79 Impala, and we were going to pick up some of his shit because his dad left for work, and it's the only way to get his shit. So this is summer. I mean, the corn's up pretty good, and we're driving back down fucking Harrison Road. We see these two triangular shapes in the sky, a light at each corner, like shining out the fucking front. And we stop at the stop sign that goes, I don't even know what the fuck that road's called, whatever. But all of a sudden, my car, radio, everything, it just dies. So we're sitting there looking at each other like, you saw that shit in the sky, right? I'm like, yeah. We lean out, the window a little bit, and it's that weird, like, mechanical sound where it sounds like something humming like an engine or something. So we're like, what the fuck do we do? And we're still like 5-6 miles from my house. So I'm like, let's push the car home. Now, this is a big fucking 79 Impala, and we're sitting there, pushing it. We get it off on this road, pushing it. Finally, a cop pulls up behind us and is like, what are you guys doing? We're like, the car broke down. He's like, well, where do you live? I'm like, Bloomberg. So he gave us a ride. We get back to Bloomberg, we wake my mom and dad up and tell my dad, I'm like, dude, car broke down, we're going to get some of Chris' shit. He's like, well, come on, we'll go see what's wrong with it. We get back there, nothing in the sky. He's like, well, jump in and see what's going on. Car fires right up. Never had a problem with it after that, because he's like, well, it's probably the alternator or something. Car fires right up. Like, we tried to start it at the stop sign like hundreds of times, you know. But we get back, nothing in the sky, fires up. I think I was almost abducted that night. If it wasn't for Officer whoever the fuck that was that picked us up, I think I would have got probed.
Yeah. The only other
Not in a good
experience
way.
that I had, and I couldn't determine if it was the same thing that we saw out on Miami Trail. When I was in high school, I used to, when I got stressed, whenever anything weird was going on, I used to go out and cruise Creek Road. You know, because that's what the fuck we did back in the day.
Right.
So I'm out on Creek Road. I get to the point where it actually gets back into like the forested area, like right next to the creek.
That dense shit.
Yeah, with like the trees that
Yeah.
go kind of over the road. And I was in that 95, the Bobcat mobile. If anybody remembers the Bobcat mobile. 95 Honda Civic. Going through that area where the trees are kind of overlapping, and then there's all of a sudden this big ass bright light. And my first thought is fucking like pot helicopter. Maybe that's what's going on. See this big light, look up, open the sunroof, blinding light. Can't even tell what it is. But this light follows me all the way, that entire length of Creek Road, all the way to where you turn off on Miami Trace Road at the end. Followed me all that way. I get up to the top of that hill, turning right onto Miami Trace Road like you're going to get on 41 to come back to courthouse. I get to the top of that hill and my car dies. Everything goes off and I just coast down the hill until I have no momentum left and I stop. When I finally stop, there's no lights around, nothing's happening. 10 minutes after I come to a complete stop, start the car. Everything's fine. And that was the first experience that we had was absolutely terrifying. But this experience was like, can I even get home now? Am I going to go and something else is going to happen where I can't get home? And it was it still gives me like the creeps when I think about it.
I mean, just what do you do?
Yeah, and I was by
Like-
myself.
Like
There's no one else there.
if you're seriously like there by yourself, what do you do if like this just ray of light shines on you? You lose control of your body and you can just like look around. And you're like just going up. You know,
Yeah.
what do you do? I mean, obviously you shit
Like,
yourself.
and, well,
Yeah, I mean,
and the thought honestly crossed my mind, like, am I going to die tonight? Like, is this going to be my night that I'm going to be gone? They're going to find this car, and I'm not going to be there, and I'm going to be just dead somewhere.
Has anybody ever seen the movie Fire in the Sky?
No.
It's I think it came out in '93. It's based off an actual like alien abduction case. These guys were in the woods hunting, and one of them came up missing. Well, you know, he was gone forever, and then he was back, and it just basically tells his story of when he was on this freaking craft. And like, dude, just some of the imagery from like inside the craft and some of the lighting, crazy shit that like it's one of the most terrifying freaking movies I've ever seen. And that every time like I see a light in the sky, that's all I can think of is like those scenes where it's like, you know, him getting like and I turn into Bill Cosby. And they give me a pudding pop, and they're like,
I was going to go Professor Frank. It's like, get the glaive.
The one thing that with all of this, especially with the new project we have coming up, I want to go out and I want to look for that thing.
I'm sure I told you guys because I put up MySpace pictures about it, but I had another encounter with that fucking thing outside of Wilmington again. Did I ever tell you about it?
I think I probably saw it, but I don't think I ever heard the story.
Yeah, man. I was hanging out with my girlfriend. We were watching some Monday Night Raw, like you do.
Yeah.
And had some friends call me. They're like, "Hey, man, we want to go to get some White Castle. Do you want to get some White Castle?" I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." So I bailed on my girlfriend in Monday Night Raw to go get some White Castle with some buddies. You know, because I'm a reasonable person. Turned out joke was on me. That was the night that Jeff Hardy swanton bombed Randy Orton off the top of the Titantron.
Ooh,
Yeah.
good night. Good
Yeah,
night.
so I missed that. But we're driving back from Wilmington with our White Castle, and we see the triangular shape with the 3 lights and the headlights and the heb and the hoe and the glavin. So it's running around doing its usual fast, shifty craziness. And we chased it down a different road than we chased it down. This one was off to the right, where we followed it down the road to the left. We chased